Hello and welcome to Southwest Herts Community TV. Sorry, I forgot where I was there. I'm Jenny Braithwaite, I'm the District Leader up in Cumbria. I've got with me today Alex, who is the District Leader in Southwest Herts. Come and say hello, Alex.
Hi, it's Jenny, not Jess. I was speaking to Jenny. Hi, Jenny. Hi, viewers. How are you?
Well, I'm great, Alex, and I'm sure the viewers are doing fantastically as well. So
Uh,
tell me, what's been going on in Southwest Herts this week?
well, we've had two events this week. They've been two brilliant events, and I don't know if that coincides with me not being there. I'm slightly worried it is, but I don't think it is. I think it's just the fact that I happened to be at university on the 2 days that those events went on and couldn't make it because it clashed. So the events went on. We had two brilliant events with some brilliant hosts. On Monday, we had the second Coffee in Northwood, which was a brilliant event. Smaller than anticipated crowd. A few other people have booked in and not turned up due to reasons, but it was a great event. I heard some new people came there, and sometimes with a smaller event, it gives you time to have deeper conversations with people, find out more about what they do. So if you've got a room full of 50 people, I couldn't manage that because I'd have to kind of mingle, and I'd only have about half a minute to talk to you about this, and then you about this, and I wouldn't be able to find out everything about that one person I need for how we can help them. So smaller groups mean more interaction and more deeper, meaningful conversations. So that was a really good event. And yesterday we had the coffee in Rickmansworth. It wasn't in the Regis. It was actually in a local independent cafe called Cinnamon Square, which I haven't been to yet. But I've heard some brilliant reviews about it. And this was a brilliant event. Again, coming off the back of a series of good events in the Regis building, we come off into Rickmansworth for another good event. And as well as having lots of new people there, people were talking about we should have this, we should have a coffee in this place because this is an independent cafe and it buys into what Link Growth is doing with buying local. We should have a drinks evening in Rickmansworth because at the moment Rickmansworth is near Watford. It's about a 10-minute drive, but the people there are more. If you can't call them people. They're not from Watford. They're from Rickmansworth. They're identifiable as Rickmansworth first. So they're saying we don't want to be related to people in Watford. We want to have our own event. So we're talking about having another coffee in Cinnamon Square, a drinks evening there, and also kind of further talks about how we can work up in Apsley with a charity up there called Waterways Experience, which I'm personally involved with, and they're interested in having a coffee on a kind of 40-person narrowboat, which will showcase their facilities and their first coffee in that area. So there's lots of developments happening this week. So just because I wasn't there doesn't mean things don't go on.
I think that's an excellent point that Link for Growth, it's not just one person, it doesn't hinge on one person. I love what you're saying about the smaller groups as well, because I find I always get more out of talking a lot to a small number of people than a little bit to a lot of people. So I think that's really good what you're saying about the small events. I also love the name Cinnamon Square for a cafe. That sounds absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I've heard really good things about it. I just haven't been able to get there yet, and it's going to be a great event. I'm going to spend some time this weekend looking at the kind of the link for a calendar when we can plug things in, so we don't get clashes. So people in Watford can get to Rickmansworth, and people in Rickmansworth, if they want to, can come to Watford and work all that in. And I also we think even going back to how we are as friends, we only have certain friends who we consider good friends, and they're the people we have deep, meaningful relationships with. We have lots of acquaintances who we know, but the people we call friends are the people who we know everything about, and that's how I like it. Link Growth, where we may become friends, but I have the ability to have a deep, meaningful conversation with you, so find out more about you and more about how I can help you through Link Growth.
Exactly. Very, very well put, Alex. Has there been anything else going on this week?
Not really. That was in terms of events. A lot of local news happening. So I'll talk about local news. If anyone hasn't seen the new Charter Place, which is going to be redeveloped over the course of the next 2.5 years, have appointed a new developer, and they've got some really good plans. And the plans are now have been talked about, but now we've got to develop. Everything's getting a bit more formalised, and with the market opening, I believe it's the 10th of October, so 2 Fridays time. It means that they can move out there and the developers can move in and start regenerating that bit of town. Because Charter Place, when it doesn't know, it's a 60s kind of shopping block, so it's very concrete, it's very structural, it's like very 1960s. Quick built, does the job, but now it's an eyesore in Watford, and what the plans are is a 2-level shopping centre, so more shops. And I remember I wrote a blog this week for anyone who hadn't seen it about why I love Watford. And one of the reasons is because we've got all the shops, apart from Debenhams, we have all the shops in the area. If you want some fashion, you can go there. If you want not budget clothes, if you want reasonably priced clothes and affordable clothes, you have shops for that. You have everything there. So what the new shopping centre will do is give you even more choice and more range. So which isn't a bad thing. There'll be a 9-screen cinema, including an IMAX. So again, the one thing that the Watford Town Centre hasn't got is the cinema. We're going to have that. We're going to be one of 10 towns outside London to have an IMAX. So just showing the real emphasis in Watford, and a public squares for the kind of street theatre. So the Covent Garden feel, maybe some people who've been to Covent Garden, I'm sure other towns and cities have got that kind of outside area where you get the street theatre, you get the kind of the kind of statues and stuff, which just give it another vibe in the town and another pub. So you've got the cafe quarter, you have the new development parade, and you'll have this middle ground kind of street theatre, cinema, and it should give it a great vibe to the town centre. So that should all be done by Christmas 2017.
Wow, that sounds fantastic. The IMAX cinemas are amazing. There's one near us in like a mountain centre, and they really are amazing. Do you have any more local news, Alex, or do you want to move on to Link for Growth updates?
I've got a few bits of things I picked up and a few people that are doing things want shout outs. Tomorrow, as I mentioned last week, there's a fashion catwalk in the town centre on the parade tomorrow. I believe it's involved with West Herts College, so it's good to see the college students as well as learn the theory behind fashion design and everything else, whether they do modelling. It's where they're putting things into practice so the designers can see their stuff on show and say, I've been taking part in this. It's there'll be lighting, there'll be all the technicalities which they'll probably learn there. Get saying, I, as well as studying lighting, I took part in this and I know what it's like to host an event in terms of lighting and sound. And it should just bring more. It's these big events which are a great way. And there's 3 separate shows there's one at 2 o'clock, one at 4 o'clock, and one at 6 o'clock. So it should be a great way for people to find out kind of if you can't make one of them, you've got different options. And I believe there's going to be a little craft workshop as well running throughout the day. So go and find out some little crafty bits. A couple of charity updates. The Michael Green Foundation have their supper quiz Sunday. I am going to be there. Really looking forward to that. Been looking forward to it most of the week. Kind of Sunday night, great end to the week. They've fired a few more bits of news to me this week and today. 15th of November, they've got the Diabetes UK bus coming down to Watford. So great way to find out more about type 2 diabetes. And I believe there's going to be a kind of a survey of your kind of lifestyle. So you kind of say if you say you're a smoker, if you say all you eat is junk food and you don't do any exercise, they won't tell you you've got diabetes, but you say you're at risk of it, I believe. So more information on that, and also of their 2015 Eat Fit campaign in St Albans is available on their website. So I believe that's just the michaelgreenfoundation.com, or you can just Google the Michael Green Foundation. It comes up on there. And so all the information about what they're doing, why they're doing it, and a link to their YouTube video about the symptoms of type 2 diabetes is all available on there. And the last thing I've been told, just briefly, is Chris Ogle, who from South West Herts, is taking part tomorrow night in a 26-mile walk around London for cancer research. So he wanted to shout out for that and just to see if he can get people to donate some money to the cause. I'm sure he'll put a link in this once he's done and around various social media sites.
Wow, it's quite a way, isn't it, that walk that Chris is doing for charity? That sounds great. What about Link for Growth news this week and updates, Alex? So,
few things going on this week. I'm going to be back at some events this week. The first event of the week I will not be at, which is the coffee in the Regis in Watford. It clashes with my timetable, just can't make it, but it should be a really good event. And got a few in the shout outs. I mentioned why it's going to be a really good event, but I know there's a few people booked in from charities and businesses, and a few people who haven't booked in yet but have told me they're going to be there, so it should be a really good event. And then on Friday we have the CSR lunch in Rickmansworth, which is ideal for charities to come who may feel intimidated by the traditional networking or coming to a non-charity related event. They may say, listen to me, this event is ideal for businesses to meet charities and the businesses who want to help charities, and charities can go and find businesses who are offering help and find out how they can be helped. So I know there's 4 or 5 charities coming, and I would imagine double the amount of businesses and local people coming to see how they can help. So that should be a really good event.
Was that all the Link for Growth news this week, Alex?
Just a couple of bit. I'm just seeing if anyone's got any questions or anything for me, or any shout outs they want later on. There's no training this week, so which unfortunately I was going to talk about training. I was speaking to someone about training today, but it was on terms of training. It's a great way of finding out why Link for Growth uses the platform, why you should be using it. So it doesn't tell you, for example, in the Twitter training, it doesn't tell you how to tweet, because all you're doing is typing. As long as you know you've got 140 characters, there's no point telling someone you've got 140 characters. It's about you've only got 140 characters. How do you use these effectively as possible? So it's about effective tweeting, effective sharing on Google Plus and Facebook, and about how to have an effective profile on LinkedIn. So that's what we teach you on the training. And it's now going to be all delivered online and recorded. So if you can't make it, you will be able to, for about a month, I believe, watch it in catch-up mode effectively. So you have the recording. So if you miss something there, or you can't make it to finish the recording and you want to go back to it, you have the ability to do so. And it's also affordable. So for £25 for the members of the general public, and then for any Link for Growth subscribers, if you just contact, I believe it was Carol, I believe, or Deepa. Should remember this. I did this last week as well.
Tell you the truth, I'm not absolutely 100% certain whether it is Carol or Deepa. I'm sure if people contact either of them, if it's the wrong one, they'll point them in the right direction.
Contact both. I say contact both.
Yeah, good.
So then, and you get the discount rate for £15, which is a reason to subscribe to Link for Growth. So, as well as discounted training, you'll help support what we're doing, or what Jenny and I just believe in and think is a really good idea. So £3 a month, £36 a year for 13 months, which is a really good price. And again, at the events this week, copies of the Link for Growth What If We Knew You book will be available. They are £8 at events, £5.15 on the Kindle, and around £12 on Amazon. So a great way, if you can't get to an event, or you haven't got an event in your area, but you want to find out what is going on in Link for Growth, why it's set up, how it's set up, how you can get involved. That's what's going on, and kind of how you can get involved.
Absolutely, yes. I think the book's really useful, especially for someone who just wants to get an idea of what Link for Growth is about, maybe before they sort of come and talk to one of the current district leaders, or maybe with even a view to starting something up in their own areas.
Yeah, I know. I was speaking to a friend, and I gave them a copy of the book and said, have a read of this, and this is what they'd heard of Link for Growth because I was talking about it, but they didn't know what it was and why it was, because it's very difficult. If you've got a message, the Chinese whispers effect, which kind of spreads the message. If you tell one person, they slightly change the message, and if they tell one person, the book gives you a clear message that if I sold it to someone, they then say, oh, this is really interesting, you should have a look to person C. They give the book to person C, they get the same message. So it's a clear, consistent message for everyone. So I'm sitting, they're all in the car at the moment, a big bag of the book. So looking to get, in a nice way, looking to get rid of them and not selling. But if you're interested in the Link for Growth, and come in, I'll be there on Friday with the copies of the books, and we should have some on the event on Wednesday. So that'll be a great way of finding out about Link for Growth.
And I believe, Alex, as well, that for anyone who prefers to or needs to, it's also available as an audiobook.
That is something I haven't heard that. I've been really out the loop this week, and almost because it's once you start getting into these things, conversations keep going on, and you want to. So I didn't know that. So that's brilliant, because there are some people like podcasts and audiobooks or audio people. That's a really good way of doing it. And another thing for Link for Growth to do, maybe we can get iTunes. There's lots of scope for these type of things.
Absolutely. The scope's almost mind-boggling, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
You could just do so much. It's almost, you've got to choose where to focus your energy sometimes, I find.
And remember, there's only 24 hours in a day. I said to someone, talk about social media. That's how I started. You've got 24 hours in a day. You can only talk to so many people. Why don't you have an online profile and a page that talks for you?
Yeah.
So you can meet people online in a non-funny way, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, exactly. Seeing all your online profiles and networking online, instead of it being this strange alien thing. Think of it as doing exactly what you do with people in real life, or offline, should I say. But you're simply doing it via text on a computer screen. It just
Yeah.
gives you the scope to either continue or start the conversation there. So it gives you better use of your time.
Yeah, and links to what we've done on Google Plus for anyone who isn't aware of that. We've created communities for each town, and for each town we should, in time, have a buy local community. So what you can do is have your personal page in the main Google Plus community. So for Watford, it's L4G Watford, and for Rickmansworth, it's L4G Rickmansworth. And then on top of that, we're going to have an L4G buy local town name. So, for example, L4G Watford, L4G buy local Watford, L4G buy local Rickmansworth. And the idea is to get the buy local pages for all the business pages and brand pages on Google Plus, posting their stuff in there. So it doesn't spam the main page, where people talk about what's going on. This one's for you to find out what local businesses there are. So if you want to find a local butcher, baker, candlestick maker, these are the places to find them. And find out to their Google Plus pages, which can take them to contact details and so on and so on.
Absolutely, yeah. I think it's really great that we're having the buy local communities separately. So if you just have the community there, you can sometimes find that people do either don't want to say, oh, well, I have this business, or people don't like it being there. By separating the two there, you know where to go when you want something that is buy local, and businesses and people know where to post things, and it makes everything so much more transparent and easy to understand for people, I think.
Yeah, just having a quick look at the old comments. The Microgreen Foundation thanked us for the plug and wish Chris good luck for their Shine Walk, and I believe she's posted a link to the Just Giving page, and she's again posted a link to the book on Amazon with all the details. And Chris says there's 3 of them walking. Graham Frost, another L4G'er, and someone called Stephen Neal. And again, Chris has posted a link to the Just Giving page, so all the details are there, really.
Excellent. That kind of leads nicely in. Do you have any other shout-outs today, Alex?
I've got one in particular, a gentleman called Prashil Kasur. Not many people will be aware of him. He's been a subscriber link for a while, but he's just stepped up to help co-host next week's Watford Regis event on Wednesday, so the 1st of October. Great way to start a new month with a new host at a brilliant event. So that's why it's going to be a brilliant event. It's why I was saying you should get along there, because not only is it a great event and you can benefit, I'd like a brilliant event to help Prashil settle in. He'll be hosting alongside Master Mike Bridger, who hosted last month's event and did a brilliant job. I sat in the background and enjoyed an event. The first time I've been to an event in Watford, but not hosted it, just sat in the background and talked to people about what I wanted to talk about, and let Mike host and do all the nitty-gritty stuff. So I got all the details of people, gave it back to me at the end, and we closed out. So working as a team means you don't have all the pressure on you. So I'd like to thank Prashil for stepping up, and we're almost at the stage now when every event has an individual co-host, so you'll be meeting different people at different events, and so I won't have to host every event, so you don't have to speak to me if you don't want to, and I don't have to necessarily get to the event, but the message will still be clear through things like the book, what Linkworth wants to do and how we're doing it.
Excellent. Yeah, I think that's all really good points about it being a team effort, definitely. Any more shout-outs, Alex?
No, that's it for this week. It was a busy week. It was busy without me, in fact. So hopefully next week will be even busier. Now you've got my input.
That's great. Anything else to add at all, or shall we say bye to the good people of South West Herts?
I will have a quick look to see if anyone else has given me a message to shout out to people, but I'm thinking we could be done, to be honest. I will have a quick look.
Yeah. I don't see anything after Chris's comment on the event page.
No, I don't seem to see anything either, so I think we can wrap this one up.
Okay, so so it's bye from me, and Alex, if you'd like to say goodbye.
Goodbye, guys.
Okay, and we'll see you next week.